another horrendous rain. This is like tornado weather. Flooding, flooding, flooding. Like a river here. Look at all that water. Woo. Check these bananas out. Not even in fall yet, and they're probably at least half grown, so hopefully they will survive and mature, ripen a little bit before we get that first frost. And they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 suckers on this tree here. Let's take a look at that red leaf, large leaf exotica graft that we did for this mulberry here. You can see the tape, the paraffin wax is breaking away, and got some really nice large leaves on here. Very sandpaper-ish, but probably only about 18 or 19 inches of growth. Not quite 2 foot, but it looks healthy. So many mulberries and limbs all in this area, all along Wetland Zone 1, you know, just tons of them popping up everywhere that we're going to have to trim some of the limbs. We're going to potentially use more, hopefully, for grafting purposes. Unfortunately, we had to put a few more mulberry cuttings and stuff in this mulberry graveyard, you know. But yeah, I used to call it ICU, but it's pretty much a graveyard. We tried at least twice to do white mulberries this year, and both times all of them failed for some reason. And I think we had 2 more Illinois everbearing cuttings that we tried to root fail, but not any of the new things that we said that kind of succeeded or did succeed. I think most of them are still alive, if not all. This Lakeland Tropical here produced a few little tiny berries, but you know, it looks like it's got a good 14, 16 inches of growth on it. This is that multi-graft, so I got, let's see what here. Maui here has got about 2 foot of growth. This guy here, Valdosta, did not make it at all. We have our Australian green, which looks pretty good. Maybe about 10 or 12 inches of growth, but a lot of leaves and buds. This guy here, we attempted 2 grass boysenberry, which failed. And then what's this other big leaf one here? Tice. So we had 1 tice make it. Big old leaves. So we need to work on trimming up the seedling stock and just allowing the grafted stuff that we have already on there to just take over. Tice is grafted there, so it's probably at 26, 28 inches, so over 2 foot. Of course, our Thompson, there's the graft there, and it's probably 18, 19, 20 inches. Definitely not quite 2 feet, but look how big those leaves are. We might have showed that in the last video. We kind of have the star of the show here, this blackbird. You know, there's the graft, and we got 5, 6 foot of growth to the top, and it is constantly growing. This maple leaf probably has about 20 to 22 inches of growth. It's got a lot of bug damage there. This is grafted onto a random seedling out here. You guys might have been tired of looking at mulberries, and you're like, there ain't no more about mulberry videos coming, are there? Well, we were kind of working up on propagation, grafting, rooting, you know, and working up to that big reveal we did a month or 2 back. And now, you know, we're winding down for the season and just giving you some progress updates on a few of them, not all of them. I'll show you something we probably showed you last season. And this is a passion flower color that hybridized naturally and produced here on our property. So we had a couple ornamental passion flowers very rarely produce fruit. Sometimes they'll produce fruit with a very few little seeds and little gel sacs in it, but they are edible when they do produce them. And we had 2 different types, although we did try to plant maypop in this area before and it failed. I think we finally got some going after these were, produced here and after they'd been growing for 3 or 4 years. Now they're kind of spreading all over. Here is one that we intentionally planted. I don't remember if it's a blue or purple passion flower, whatever it's called. Bought it at Lowe's or Home Depot or something. About 50 foot away, we had Our Lady Margaret. And it used to be super vigorous. It like covered all these trees and everything. Had like a 40-foot wide spread and 20-foot plus growth up on the trees. And now there's not much, but it's a red one, and I believe these guys hybridized and created that sort of white. I don't know why they did so well for so long, and now they're going into some kind of dieback. Maybe the original root systems are just getting old and they're not reproducing. Either they created this or this is some kind of genetic mutation bud sport or something where they, a single bud or multiple buds just mutated and then it created this, this white. It's got some purple edging and it's got some purple stuff there and a little purple and green there. And moving on, this Duncan grapefruit, this first one I planted where another one used to grow, is almost dead. It's got some growth here. I think I'm going to have to probably dig it up and move it or put it in a pot and see if we can baby it a little bit. But it might be, just failing to thrive for whatever reason. I'm back here already. I'll talk about this olive tree. I forget, this is just one of the common ones you find every day at Lowe's, Home Depot and stuff. There's probably 2 or 3 types that they just always have. So just like the pear trees where you have them blooming in a bucket, could be every year or whatever, we had olives blooming in a bucket. As soon as we plant them in the ground, no blooms, or maybe you get that first year bloom because it was going to bloom anyway, those flowers. And now 15 or whatever years later, and there was a lot of damage to this guy. It would have been a lot bigger, probably goats or something got it a few years ago before we got rid of our goats. It hasn't bloomed any since being in a pot. Sort of seen that kind of stuff with citrus as well, where we'd wait like 6 or 8 years sometimes for citrus trees to bloom here. It's damp soil, it's swamp muck, acidic, and we were always told by some people at least that when you have this nitrogen-rich acidic soil, that it goes into a growth mode versus a flowering and fruiting mode. Digging those roots everywhere, grabbing those nutrients, growing the plant up, high, versus, going into the reproduction mode. So maybe that's similar to pears and everything, and they even some people talk about figs. They like either lime, like to be around a foundation, or they like the roots constricted. So I came up with the potential idea to maybe plant a pear tree, with constricted roots around a bunch of blocks, so it has that cement. It's kind of constricted, but not so constricted that the roots will not be able to go through the big holes and stuff, and to have access maybe to some of the lime and stuff in the cement, maybe even crack open some of those blocks with a sledgehammer or something before putting them in the ground. And I haven't got to that experiment yet. We're contemplating that with this last Baldwin pear we had, and we are trying to graft it. So Baldwin pear, semi-self-fertile or not fertile at all. We were going to give it away, and I said, well, why would somebody want that when it's not going to produce pears on its own? So I said, if I can graft it successfully, I will still give that away to garden community, family, friends, something, so that they can have a nice pear tree. But if it's not successful, we may go and do that project to see if this root constriction, this lime, access will actually make it flower early. But yeah, maybe these olives are the same way. They either need a lot of time or maybe a different soil type, to get into that flower mode. But it's too late now for this one to go replant it. It's probably got deep roots. We just gotta wait it out. We have tons and tons of wild cucumbers growing all in this area, and I'm just now noticing one right here. Look at that. That guy's ready to eat, probably. Look like little tiny watermelons. But if you wait till they're ripe and black, they say they'll give you a major stomach ache and give you diarrhea. Well, I found 4 in about 2 minutes. There's probably a bunch of them out here. And you can see they're blooming still, so they're going to produce more. So this is our sunchokes, our larger ones here. And they're getting ready to bloom. Hope I don't break them. So this should produce a nice amount of sunchokes in the ground if it doesn't fall over before the rain. A lot of you guys may be wondering if our mountain soursop made it. So it pretty much died to there was nothing there. And it came up low with these new branches and all. They're not really used to the winter here, so hopefully they'll get some cold tolerance just after that first season in the ground. But it's got a lot of bushy growth down there coming up, probably 3.5, 4 foot tall now. And as far as that jackfruit that was down there, it always came back late. There's so many thorns and bushes there. I'll either see it when it comes up or it won't come up at all. It might get 3, 4, 5 foot, and then another winter cold front moves in and it might just kill it down. Or it may, like I said, it could be dead. It is the next day and I'm starting to gather a few things to get rid of. So we got a big Swiss cheese plant there. We got some, looks like 2 rooted mother-in-law tongues, variegated ones. At least 1 fig so far. Camellia tea tree, small Illinois ever-bearing mulberry, and mayhaw passion flower. Just for the heck of it, I think I'm going to throw in a white sapote. This little blue sage here is kind of growing lopsided because it's been in heavy shade, but these guys seem to be kind of rare in this area, so we'll give this guy a wait.
Hey guys, today we just made a cabin, and over there's going to be the lake, and then we're going to try wiping that core off, and then we have one more piece down there.
And I need to try to video something. So, I paid for this whole house and I own it. So, nobody better be bad to the cabin.
You got your flooring pieces, your vinyl flooring?
You
You got the walls there, I guess?
No, these are windows.
Windows? Oh, you got real glass windows there.
And also,
but what's the roof?
The hose down
You don't have a roof. I guess you got the sky as a roof, huh?
And we also have a hose down here for kind of like water pipes.
Well, I'm pulling some of these seeds out of the refrigerator. Nectarine, peach, plum. We'll check the dates on them. But, 1 to 3 months is basically how you do it. And cold stratifying them, that is, just in case you're unaware. Some people do a warm stratification as well. But we don't do that. We do a soak for a few days or weeks. Washing out, clearing out that water every day or 2 until it clears up and gets clean and gets nice and hydrated before we put it in peat and date them. I think this is the first peaches, or they're nectarines. I can't remember. Put in there about 5/3/25, somewhere along that. Just marked it Prunus because if I said peach or nectarine, I could be wrong. 2 in this guy. I'm just saying nectarine ? I don't know why I didn't mark them more properly. Mayhaw 1. I think this might be our improved ones with the larger berries. Mayhaw 2. Or it's possible that we did that seedling that had the really big berries for the first one. And this could be the grafted one that had the good berries. We may not even... I know I took some from our seedlings with the small berries, but I think maybe the kids lost them. So hopefully these are both improved cultivars, but we'll probably use them for grafting or giving them away anyway. Pluots here. We only got 3 from those 1 or 2 fruits this year. And hope for the best. This is the one that produced for us here. It's one we've been growing. We tried to graft it onto a couple things and they all failed. But we need a pollinator. Nothing else seems to bloom at the same time. So maybe seedlings of itself will actually pollinate. We got quite a few of these cherry plums, so these are going to make good rootstock if they survive and come out and do well for us. And the wetlands are areas where the rootstocks here just do not survive. Last but not least, here's another thing: peach seeds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. And there it is. Time to water it and put everything away.